This is on the 7th, there was an article which says that the government will debunk opposition lies, work closer with Trump administration. Jack Dio. Hear what he's saying. Jack Dio said the government will debunk opposition lies and work closer with Trump administration. Now let me read what the article says that he said. Then I'm gonna go into the story. Vice President Dr. Bar Jagdi on Thursday, this last week Thursday, said that the Irfan Ali-led administration is keen to continue working alongside the United States of America and the incoming Donald Trump administration. The Vice President, who is the General Secretary of the Governing People's Progressive Party, Civic PPC, also emphasized that a key focus of government will be to debunk lies continuously told to the U.S. authorities by opposition operatives. Quote, every U.S. mission that comes to Guyana, they have a standard mantra. That is, the PPP is racist, the PPP is corrupt, the PPP is incompetent, the PPP squanders oil money, and the PPP doesn't like the U.S. because we are in bed with the Chinese. End of quote. Of course, quote again, of course, the facts are very different, and we have been meeting with those officials to set the record straight, end of quote. Jagdeo said on Thursday at his weekly press conference. Jagdeo opined that such notions are shared by detractors of the party and the government, including members of the opposition. He also said known social media critic Rickford Burke has consistently fed the U.S. authorities with untrue information. But he emphasized that the government will push back against those untrue notions and intend to work closely with the Trump administration to set the record straight. Quote, we believe the U.S. is a very close partner of Guyana, and therefore we have to work to build a partnership continuously, to build this partnership continuously, end of quote. He said, later adding, quote, we are looking forward to continue debunking all the lies, particularly with the new administration that will take office next January in the USA. Of particular note, Jagdeo said the government will engage the U.S. administration on Burke's modus operandi and transgression, including his alleged extortion of Guyanese. Outside of expressing intentions to engage the U.S. administration, Jagdeo highlighted some of the improvements that have been made locally to guarantee greater accountability and transparency in governance. Those gains include the improvement of the National Procurement and Tender Administration Board, NPATAB. That is what the press conference last Thursday said. But I have a response to the Vice President. Yeah, sure. I can advise him. I get some advice. I get to the stage now where I give free advice. So I'm going to advise the Vice President how he should go about interacting with the Trump administration. Start from now. Here where I'll get in. Yeah, I can read and explain as we go along before bringing Mr. Conway. Sit back and enjoy. I said, and this is Jagdeo, I recommend that he writes to President Trump, and the letter should go like this. Dear President-elect Donald Trump, I want to congratulate you on behalf of the People's Progressive Party and on my own behalf for your historic win at the last U.S. elections. You have become only the second person in the U.S. to have won non-consecutive terms. That is a significant achievement for someone who has had so many legal issues, both civil and criminal. The government of Guyana, of which I am in charge, looks forward to working with you in the interest of ExxonMobil, which discovered large oil reserve offshore Guyana. We also want to work with you to debunk the many lies which have been peddled about my government by the opposition and social media influencers. Mr. President-elect, I am pleading with you to assist in debunking those damaging lies. I would like your government to cause the FBI to conduct a thorough investigation into the following lies told by the opposition and social media influencers. They team up with Chinese businessmen and Vice News to conduct an interview with me, which I generously facilitated in the living room of my Paddoville mansion. During that interview, I was caught by surprise when the interviewer asked me about taking bribes and suggested that Chinese national Su Zhirong collects bribes on my behalf. This is totally untrue. I would request that during the investigation by the FBI, a lie detector test be administered. I will also kindly request that the behavioral scientists and body language experts carefully examine the tape, which is in circulation on social media, which opposition elements are claiming show that I was less than candid. I am confident that such an examination would show that during the Vice News interview, I was calm, poised, confident, and forthright with my answers. That's part of it. Let me show you all what I'm talking about. Let me show you all the interview that we want him to think. This is the interview we want him
sit there and fabricate that. Unless you say who the person is, I can't comment on anonymous people.
Okay, well, let's talk about specific individuals. What is your relationship with Mr. Su Zhirong?
Su? Oh, Su? My relationship? Nothing. He's a tenant in my place, yeah.
And he's a good friend of yours?
Yes, yes, he is a friend of ours.
He claims.
Right, so that's what we're saying. We want you're gonna have the president-elect to make sure that he deals with that. And you're gonna see the behavioral scientists and the body language people will say that no, the vice president was candid and it was an old set of lies. I continue. They have repeatedly and falsely claimed that during my tenure as president, hundreds of Afro-Guyanese were executed by members of a phantom death squad, which they claim was run by a minister of my government. That is a blatant lie. They also claim that my government had a hand in the killing of one of my own ministers, Sadio Sarr, back in 2006, Ronald Waddell in 2006, and Courtney Cromwell in 2015, among others. In the latter case, they falsely allege that two of the ministers in the current government were involved in this dastardly act. This needs to be debunked. The opposition and social media elements have also been besmirching the character of senior officers of the Guyana Police Force. They have maliciously claimed that a senior officer who was involved in the investigations of the murder of Ricardo Fagundes, alias Paper Shorts, took $30 million from a prime suspect to cover up the murder. This allegation was first made by a sergeant of the Guyana Police Force. They have also been maliciously imputing the character of other senior police officers, including acting police commissioner, whom they wickedly refer to as the extended squatter, all because he has passed the age of retirement. This was an innocent error due to a mix-up with his birth certificate, which we have not been able to find. We note with great concern that during a recent massive drug bust in Region 1, which I am told had the involvement of the U.S. Drug Enforcement Agency, the Guyana Police Force was deliberately and inexplicably kept in the dark. The opposition then falsely claimed that the removal of the divisional commander was linked to his involvement in illicit activities. This is false. The removal of the commander to the transport workshop was to allow him to gain valuable experience in mechanics, including the repairs and servicing of semi-submersible vessels. They have relentlessly attacked and defamed the exemplary character of Assistant Commissioner Calvin Butas. This has led to him being charged with 30 criminal offenses, including larceny by public officer, which Guyanese call thieving, money laundering, conspiracy, and misconduct in public office, among others. They are claiming that he has 210 more charges pending. They even went so far as to cause a SWAT team to surround his living quarters, which incidentally is in the police compound immediately opposite police headquarters, and which adjoins the living quarters of other senior officers. This surely was meant to intimidate and may have caused him to withdraw and discontinue the matters he had before the High Court. They claim Their claim of indigenization of the command structure of the Guyana police force is utterly ridiculous. The fact that every senior police officer from superintendent and above of Indian descent has a command position is merely a coincidence and not discriminatory or as is claimed by the opposition and social media influencers. They falsely claim that the members of the discipline service are demoralized. Not so. Those personnel, especially members of the Guyana Police Force, are fully motivated. In fact, the acting commissioner has implemented a policy to reach out to his friends and stakeholders to provide financial support whenever there is a wedding, birthday, or anniversary. One generous supporter gave the acting commissioner $8.5 million, which was used to finance the lavish wedding ceremony of Assistant Commissioner Calvin Brutus. This policy has had a tremendous positive effect or positive impact on the morale of ranks. They told a blatant lie on one of my most trusted and hardworking ministers, Nigel Dharamlal, that he raped and buggered a 16-year-old indigenous girl. Following a very thorough and professional investigation by the police, the Director of Public Prosecutions, who is a Muslim and who a former Attorney General had falsely claimed cannot separate our religion from our professional duties, directed that no charge should be instituted against him. Not satisfied, they caused another young woman to make another similar allegation with against the said minister. After the first allegation, the minister, who had the interests of the PPP and the country at heart, decided to resign. Despite this resignation, these wicked people continue to falsely claim that he is still receiving all his ministerial benefits and privileges. These vile and despicable people lied on some prominent and law-abiding businessmen, claiming that they were involved in acts of bribery and corruption, also gold smuggling, drug smuggling, and money laundering and other serious criminal activities. The permanent secretary of the Ministry of Home Affairs, who is an executive member of my party, had similar allegations made against her. This led to a resignation. This led to a reassignment to another ministry and subsequently being sent on leave, which she continued to enjoy with full benefits. These malicious allegations caused the U.S. Treasury Department to impose crippling sanctions against those outstanding and productive citizens. I urge that upon entering office in January, you immediately issue an executive order reversing those sanctions. The federal authorities have been unjustly harassing persons who are close to my government and those perceived to be close to government, including some ministers of government, whenever they transit the USA. This has had a terrifying effect on many supporters, causing them to cancel travel arrangements to the United States of America. They further claim that contracts are given to friends, families, and favorites. This is a lie that should be debunked. They also claim that concessions in mining license for exploitation of gold, other precious minerals are approved in a discriminatory manner. These are all false. They have also been feeding every mission that comes to Guyana a pack of lies about this government being corrupt and discriminate along racial lines. Unfortunately, we are never given the opportunity to adequately respond to these false and malicious allegations. Finally, Mr. President-elect, one of the most disturbing claims made by these evil people is that my government is in bed with the Chinese. Another lie. The fact that Chinese companies have been preferred to build the new Demerara Bridge, the Chedijagan Airport, many hotels, roads, and other large projects, have many supermarkets and other undertakings throughout the country is a factor of market force. They are more competitive than the American counterparts. I look forward to working with our lobbyists in Washington to ensure that these and other false and damaging allegations are fully addressed and debunked so that the stench of corruption which pervades this beautiful country of ours is cleared. Signed, Vice President. That is a recommendation I make to him for him to send to the president. See, you're smiling, man. I know you want to say something. Let me bring you up your seat.
Oh, I love the recommendation. You know, they are on target, and let them Let them debunk. Let them bring people and debunk it. I look forward to it. Bring it on. Bring it on. I love the recommendations.
It's free. It's free accommodation. I have a suspicion that they might come and ask me for it because I just read it out. They're gonna ask because if you're saying that you want to engage the new president to debunk all the lies that have been told, I have pointed out some of the lies. I have identified some of the lies, and I urge you, Mr. Vice President, that perhaps tomorrow at your usual cuss-out session, you can then seek to have something similar. I mean, no, I'm not the best writer. Me have been far. I may have been far in school. I know that they meant to IFLOC University, right? So you might get the people them to nice it up, but I think you have the gist of what you can tell the president-elect. Because when the vice president said missions coming to this country, and the opposition telling him a pack of lie, what do you believe? And I didn't mention here the United Nations. The United Nations early this year, I think it was, commented on some of these very issues, corruption, human rights violations, and all of that. And the vice president said they were to address these issues. They have not, as far as I'm aware, done so. So I am saying to you, put together all these issues. Start off with the Sugate thing. Let them know, because they know, they see it. They see it. Let the behavioral scientists, let the body language experts review it again, because I'm sure they would have done so before. And they would see that you were telling, you are being very candid. When my relationship, they will be able to discern how truthful you were. Then I asked them, with all of these things, get like detector test, polygraph. That's a polygraph is not 100% accurate, but it is used in investigations to determine the veracity of statements and so on. Ask them to use that. Because I have said on this program, and I repeat it here, the things that I've alleged that took place, interaction with me and the president, interaction with me and Arafat Kalana and all of them, I am willing to take a lie detector test because I know it is truthful. What if they are willing to do likewise? I am willing, because I have always been truthful about these incidents. The meeting I had, the discussion with the president on the 16th of September 2020, the interaction with me and the president over the Edgar Thomas writing to the Commission for Promotion, the interaction I had with the president on the night of the 23rd of December 2020, all of those things, I'm willing to sit down and be strapped up with a polygraph. And I'm sure that they will see that I am telling the truth. Are they willing to do likewise? Are they willing to do likewise? If they are so confident that what they're saying is true, all the lies they're telling against people, if they're so confident, take a polygraph, man. Take a polygraph. But I don't think they would want to do that. I don't think they will want to do that. So this letter is put out there so that they giving free advice to the vice president. You see, I can't take money, because the last time when Mr. Conway know about this, and I asked him to speak about it just now, when the commissioner, not the acting or the prosecutor, Leslie James, asked us, Mr. Conway, myself, and other retired officers, to assist in revising the police force standing order, which we did 2 days a week, Tuesdays and Fridays. Then they decided that they're going to give us a stipend for the days that we work. And on the basis of that, Soku decided that the fact that we took stipend, that is conspiracy to commit fraud. Anil Nandalal, on the 29th of June, 2021, he was on TV, issues in the news, make us out a statement saying that we committed crime. The matter we charged, matter went before the court. Magistrate upheld a no case submission. And in the our decision, the magistrate said that there was not an iota of evidence against us. And we knew that. It was something trumped up. Not an iota of evidence against us. That's what the magistrate said. It is there in the record. The DPP, the same DPP that what you name, Bernard DeSantis, former Attorney General. For those of you who don't know, Bernard DeSantis, senior counsel, was the first Attorney General when the PPP returned to office in 1992. And Bernard DeSantis said, it's in the book, with the New Build Society, the hijacking of the New Build Society. I think it is page 49 or something like that. It's in the book. Bernard DeSantis said, it's quoted there as saying, that the Director of Public Prosecutions, whose husband is a Muslim cleric, is unable. He said that is what is known among the criminal bar. It is suspected among the criminal bar that the Director of Public Prosecutions, whose husband is a Muslim cleric, cannot separate our religion from our professional duties. Bernard DeSantis says so. That is why it is in the book. And again, I encourage you, those of you who have not read it, go and read the book. It is, I understand it's available at Austin's bookstore. For those of you in the States, it's available on Amazon. Read the book, and you will see the damning allegations made against many people, including the DPP, Barrett Jackdo, and all of them. How they destroy the lives of those managers at New Building Society. So it is there. It is there. So I'm saying, do a proper investigation. Call, you want to debunk all that is being said. Write to the incoming president. So when he assumes office in January, they're going to have this on the front burner. So they can investigate all the allegations of corruption that have been made. All, they can investigate it thoroughly. Probably go all the way back to the extrajudicial killings when the Jagdeo was president. Krabby Wing, that's after he was president. You had Satsa, you had Ronald Waddle. Investigate all of these things if you have nothing to hide. Call for a credible investigation. Not them wishy-washy thing that they're doing here. Soku investigated. Soku investigated up to now. They can't tell us what has happened with this this statement that the acting commissioner gave to say that he took $8.5 million from a businessman because there's a policy he implemented. 8.5. And I say that is misconduct in public office. There's no other, the people said it on the program Sunday night, there is no other country, developing country, with respectable people running the country, who will allow a man who admitted in writing, he has not come to debunk that as yet, that he took $8.5 million from a businessman. He said he counted it. All this took place in his office. And he paid Pegasus. And then they give a refund of some money because he overpaid them. And the man is sitting there as a commissioner of police. And now you hear about police officer who they're running, big job, running police sergeant, and all this everything. They're comfortable with this stench. Let me bring in Mr. Conway, then we're going to move to the next subject. CC, your views about the lie detector test and the polygraph / lie detector and all of these things. And I say, I want you to talk specifically about the interaction with the Service Commission and how they end up charging us and all of that.
Yeah, I always remember, and I listen carefully to the Attorney General, the supreme legal influencer of the government, and he was talking about us, me and you, Paul, members of the Police Service Commission, and he said that our behavior was unethical because we accepted stipend from the Guyana Police Force to revise the much outdated police standard. He didn't say it's criminal, He said it was unethical. And if we come back to the present case where the extended squad put in writing that he accepted $8-point-something million from a member of the public, we put him on name too, that used as money to fund the wedding for Assistant Commissioner Brutus. That wasn't unethical, that wasn't criminal. But we who revised part of the standing order and they paid us a stipend. They prepared the account. They made all the records and everything and paid us. And then on the top of it, they charge us for conspiracy to defraud. And I will always repeat, 26 persons testified. I can't say they give evidence. Some from Suku testified. And even Brutus and all give evidence. People from the Ministry of Affairs give evidence. People from the Ministry of Finance give evidence. From the Police Finance Office, from the Quartermaster Store, from the General Office, from the Commissioner Confidential Registry. All of them go before the magistrate. And at the end of the day, magistrate said there isn't a scintilla of evidence to convict him. Nothing to show that any one of us who was charged received $8. You said we conspired to defraud over $10 million, and nothing to show that anyone was received $8, and no evidence to show that we conspire. The whole idea was to charge Conway, give Conway a bogus charge, give Paso bogus charge, and then move to the president to have us removed suspended from the Police Service Commission because we ain't promoting Brutus and we ain't promoting the Israel people. He particularly asked about Brutus. Now Brutus turned back and maybe biting them. It's them created it. So I'm saying that, and then the court ruled that nothing there. And even in the suspension, the judge said that it was unconstitutional, null and void, has no legal effect, and those kind of things there. So those are things that I will always remember, that will live with me, that I will carry to my grave. The unjust treatment, the unconstitutional treatment that we receive from the government of Guyana, all because we were doing our work, and all because we said, they tell the president, hey, we ain't promoting Brutus and others, because they have disciplinary matters pending. And according to the public service rule, as long as you have disciplinary matter pending, you cannot be promoted. But then the present constitution, Police Service Commission, led by the bishop, went ahead and promoted Karimbash, promoted Brutus, promoted Chief Prasad Bacchus, promoted Chevron Jupiter, and promoted Prem Narayan. And they all had disciplinary matters pending that were not resolved. Very ungodly promotion. And up to now, they can't make another promotion.
Well, I wonder why, because we were led to believe not so long ago by the Minister of Governance and Parliamentary Affairs, Gil Teixeira, that on the 2nd, I think it was the 2nd of October, she wrote to Mr. Norton to say that the king is doing such a splendid job, and that the president is going to make him, to promote him, but nothing happened since. We also saw some months ago a list being circulated of other promotions that were to be made. And then we saw the same Teixeira wrote to Norton to not only Ikin to be promoted to commissioner, but I think they had 5 persons to be promoted to deputy commissioner. What happened to that? Nothing happening. I don't know what happened there. I see this as the problem, because I suspect that among the list of people in all of those lists, we have people who are deserving of their promotion. People deserving. But you get all in the same bundle, so nobody ain't going nowhere. Now let me talk about promotion. This is the right time to segue into this other matter.